Hey guys, Chad here from Take It or Leave It, here to talk to you today about the top 10 movies that I missed in 2023. So some of you might have noticed I actually did 3 end-of-year lists last year, including biggest surprises of the year, biggest disappointments, and my top 10 favorite films of the year. And I'm going to do those this year for 2023. So this video will be about the movies that were on my watch list but never got to, and then the next 3 videos that I come out with will be about the movies that I saw in 2023. And with all that being said, let's get into this and kind of break this down a little bit further. So I have this big bucket of movies that I didn't see but were on my watch list, and how do I talk about them? Well, I decided I'm going to categorize them into 4 different categories. The first being movies that I was curious about, the next being films I was interested in, the third being films that I was sold on, and then the fourth are the top 10 films that I missed in 2023 that I plan to watch in 2024. So that's how I broke these movies down, and I'll go into more detail about the determining factors for these categories as I present the movies. Alright, with all that down, let's get to the first missed films of 2023 category, the films that I'm curious about. And you might be wondering, Chad, what qualifies as a film you were curious about? Well, I decided to actually define the qualification for all these categories, and the qualification for a film I was curious about was one that I saw the poster for, I saw the genre, and I read the synopsis, and I was still interested in the film. If I did those 3 things and I still was curious about the film, then I determined that this is a potential good fit, but I need to do a little bit more digger deeping. Oh my god, digger deeping? What the hell? Did I just have a freaking stroke? Holy shit. I need to do some deeper digging. My god, that was so unexpectedly hard for me. I don't know why, but look, you get it, right? Okay, it was a potential good fit, but needed to do some deeper digging. It's still hard for me. I'm still struggling to say it right. Some notable standouts to mention include Anchorage, Red Earth, and Shadow Island. Red Earth in particular looks really interesting. I'm probably gonna have to upgrade that to the interested category, and to that point, let's get to those. The second missed films of 2023 category is for the films that I was actually interested in, and the qualification for a movie of interest was a movie that I saw the poster for, the genre, read the synopsis, and I saw the trailer, I checked out the filmmakers and the cast, and even after all of that, I was still enthusiastic about the movie. At that point, I determined that this is a good fit. The next step is just to figure out, is this really worthwhile for me specifically? And some standouts to this list that are worth mentioning are Eradication, Future Soldier, Marui Video, and Moon Garden. And the third missed films of 2023 category was for the films that I was sold on. And the qualification for this category was that I must have seen the poster, genre, synopsis, as well as the trailer, filmmakers, and cast, and checked out the reviews from critics and audience members. And if I was still excited about the movie after all of that, then I determined this was a good fit, it was well received, and at that point, I'm convinced it's worth a watch from me at least. And that brings us to the fourth missed films of 2023 category, which are the top 10 movies I missed in 2023, but will definitely be watching in 2024. The qualification for this particular category was that the film must have met all of the qualifications of the previous categories, plus there must have been an X factor of some kind. And this X factor, I mean, it's exactly that. It's an X factor. It's something that hit me in such a way that it caused me to go, ooh, I need to see that sooner than later. So at this point, the determination for these 10 films are that they're a good fit, they were well received, and I was eager and had a sense of urgency to see these sooner than later. And at that point, I'm willing to say I'm committed to watching these in 2024 since I missed them in 2023. So now that we've gotten this far, I say let's just get into these movies. Please take note though that there is no particular order here. It's pretty much random, might just be alphabetical. And also, I'm going to start each movie off with a synopsis, and then I'm going to go into my best guess at what the X factor might have been that pushed these films into this top 10 list for me. The first film on this list is Concrete Utopia. The world has been reduced to rubble by a massive earthquake. In the heart of Seoul, there is only one apartment building left standing. As time passes, outsiders start coming in, trying to escape the extreme cold. Feeling a threat to their survival, the residents enact a special measure. And in terms of the X factor for this movie, I think that I caught elements of High Rise and 2015's The Wave, and couple that with natural disasters on a global scale. I mean, dude, you're speaking my language. I mean, I need a break as much as the next person from Roland Emmerich. And the next film on this list is Do Not Disturb. Chloe and Jack travel to Miami for their honeymoon. They decide that a peyote experience will strengthen their marriage. However, they've been given a powerful strand that awakens a violent desire. Confronting their toxic relationship, their room becomes a den of love, lust, and resentment, as Chloe realizes what it will take to escape this troubled marriage. And if I had to guess, I think the X factor here was a combination of things. First of all, I saw that some critics said that Do Not Disturb is the kind of film that starts out seemingly ordinary and gets progressively more bizarre as it goes along. And also, Do Not Disturb is a trippy hotel psycho thriller. And if you haven't figured out already, I love myself some single location flicks and a psycho thriller to boot. Come on. I also saw that a number of YouTubers I trust put this on their best horror of 2023 lists, so that was pretty exciting as well. And the next film on this list is Jethica. Hiding out in New Mexico after a freak accident, Elena runs into Jessica, an old friend from high school. When Jessica's stalker suddenly shows up at their door, they must seek help from beyond the grave to get rid of him for good. Alright, and if I had to guess the X factor here for me, I think that when the critics said that this is a strange film all around, distractible, and full of Olympic-level tonal gambits, viewers' mileage will vary wildly, as well as the film has the freshness of a micro-budget film that relies on creativity and ingenuity to make up for lack of financial resources. I love hearing that. I mean, that's right down my alley. I also got elements of It Follows, which is like my favorite horror film of all time, so yeah, I'm in. And the next film on this list is Kick Me. This film is a nightmare comedy about a school counselor whose compassion, generosity, and dedication destroy the lives of everyone around him. In terms of the X factor, I just think that's a really fun and ironic synopsis. I love that. I also got elements of Falling Down by way of The Odyssey, and that's really cool. I haven't seen a good Falling Down-esque movie since, I don't know, God Bless America. So yeah, that got me pretty excited for Kick Me. And the next film on this list is New Life. A mysterious woman on the run, and the resourceful fixer assigned to bring her in. Their two unique stories inextricably link as the stakes of the pursuit rise to apocalyptic proportions. Speaking of X Factor, I mean, holy shit, if that synopsis doesn't excite you, I really don't know what to do for you. Also, the critics said it's not just the complexities of its characters that are compelling, but Rosman's ability to drop narrative bombs that cataclysmically alter the genre and narrative direction. That definitely perked my interest because it really gave me elements of Kill List, one of my favorite horror movies of all time, plus ramifications of, quote, apocalyptic proportions. Dude, come on. Sounds like it was made for me. And the next film I'll definitely be catching in 2024 is Red Rooms. The high-profile case of a serial killer has just gone to trial, and Kellyanne is obsessed. When reality blurs with her morbid fantasies, she goes down a dark path to seek the final piece of the puzzle, the missing video of a murdered 13-year-old girl to whom Kellyanne bears a disturbing resemblance. And I'm just realizing it now, but I think that one of the things contributing to the X Factor here was that this sounds like it's got elements of Terminator when Sarah Connor freaks out seeing that multiple other Sarah Connors got murdered. I always thought that that was such an awesome scene in Terminator, and I always kind of wanted to see a movie like that, like just focusing on that, and this seems maybe like that movie. Some of the critics also had some consistent things to say, including, quote, a psychological thriller / drama that will turn everything you know about serial killer films on its head. Also, takes a popular genre and turns it into something original and special. And lastly, takes an overused genre, the serial killer movie, an often misused technique, dark Lynchian surrealism, and somehow alchemizes the two into something new and original. So you're telling me an original take on the serial killer genre with dark Lynchian surrealism? I said it once before, but are they making these for me? Because that sounds freaking awesome. The next film I'll be checking out in 2024 is The Man in Room 6. A socially troubled young woman named Carrie meets an elderly man in a nursing home who claims to be immortal, cursed to never die. When the old man goes missing, Carrie is implicated in his murder. I think that the X factor on this one actually might be fairly simple in the sense that the trailer just hooked me and it had elements of Mr. Nobody directed by David Lynch, and who doesn't want to see that? The next film on this list is tinnitus. Marina Link is an experienced ornamental jumping athlete. However, an attack of tinnitus, an unbearable ringing sound in the ears, drags her from the top of her game to the edge of madness. Well, spoiler alert, right there from the synopsis, anything that starts talking about driving someone to the edge of madness, you're getting my ears perked up. Also, one of the critics said that this was a visually striking fusion of body horror and giallo-like psychological thriller. Like, dude, that sounds amazing. And if you couple all of that with the fact that I got elements of Whiplash and Black Swan, Whiplash being my favorite film of all time, I mean, dude, this is a winner. I can just tell it's a winner. The next film on this list that I'll be seeing in 2024 is Unidentified. In 1993, UFOs appear over every major city in the world. They remain floating in sky, silent, motionless, unidentified. 29 years later, there's a rumor some among us are aliens. In terms of the X Factor, simply put, this was a hypnotic trailer that totally had elements of Another Earth and District 9, and yeah, simple. That's it. I'm in. And finally, the last movie on this list of movies that I plan to see in 2024 is Brightwood. A couple find themselves trapped while on a run around a pond. X Factor. How freaking sweet and simple is that synopsis? I love when films have a synopsis that can be boiled down to one sentence and sounds like it comes from like a Twilight Zone episode. Also, some of the critics said that the, quote, doomed relationship at the core gives this story a ticking time bomb element, and also that the actors sustain a tone that ranges from demonic hilarity and petulant annoyance to cosmic horror. And also, Brightwood is a creepy indie horror that worms its way into the senses. Ticking time bomb element? Check. Cosmic horror? Check. Creepy indie horror? Check. Couple all of that with the fact that I got elements of Primer from watching this trailer, and hey, what are we talking about? We're done here. Sign me up. And guys, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to break your trust, but I have a confession to make. See, I made this list about a week ago, and a week is a long time. I mean, right? There's an argument to be made. I mean, that could be an eternity, depending on the situation, and, you know, just in that amount of time, I may or may not, but definitely did end up watching Brightwood. And I'm sorry, okay? All right? I had some time. I watched the movie. Hey, at least I'm sticking to what I said, and I watched it in 2024, right? And I won't say for certain, but, you know, it's possible you might see Brightwood come up on another list in the near future. But those are just my thoughts. Take it or leave it. What do you guys think? Have you seen any of these movies? Do you like this list? Do you think I should have swapped any of these movies out with movies on a different list in a different category? Let me know down in the comment section. Let's talk about it. And also, let me know in the comment section if this sounds good to you, but I'd like to come out with more videos, maybe talking about movies that I haven't seen yet, maybe they haven't come out yet, not just films that I've seen, because a big thing that I want to do with this channel, and I've been doing and want to continue doing, is putting movies on your guys' radar that you might not have known about, but that you'd like if only you'd heard about them, because that prospect is the most exciting thing to me, and I'd like to start doing more of that, not stop doing the things that I'm already doing, but just add this into the repertoire as well. But let me know if that sounds good to you, and if you got any other ideas of things you'd like to see from me, please let me know down in the comments section. Let's talk about it. And guys, thank you so much for stopping by my channel, especially for this ridiculously long video. I really appreciate it. Don't be afraid to hit that like and subscribe button, and until next time, I'm Chad from Take It or Leave It, and I'll check you later.
Check you later, check you later.
Hey man, get off my case.
Oh man, chicks don't want to hear that shit.